Hey, hello guys, good morning. Welcome back to a new video. So in this video, I have ASR 9K modules. This one right here, this is a 24 ports dual rate. This particular line card support 10 gigabit per second and 1 gigabit per second. So I have the right here the technical documentation. We have the 24 ports. I have 3 of them, and let me show you, the basic technical information of the product right there. Look at that. This is the chassis compatibility, the port density, the Ethernet standards right there, the performance of the line card, 24 port dual rate, 10 gig, 1 gig line card. So the 200 gigabit per second line card means that this is designed, to process and forward data at full 200 gigabit per second without experiencing any performance or degradation, basically. The 200 gigabit per second right there. And the 240 basically, represent the sums of the maximum bandwidth of all ports of the line card. If there is a 24 port running at 10 gigabit per second, the theoretical maximum speed will be 240 gigabit per second. So basically, the 200 right there, basically this represents the actual switching capacity or throughput of the line card. So the internal hardware, which is basically in this case 200 gigabit per second. Basically, that's what it is. And when you connect this line card to the chassis, there is a configuration that you need to apply. So you need to set the port mode configuration. Basically you group a particular number of ports working at a different speed. This is a different rules that you need to follow in order to test this. You cannot set all ports to 10 gig. You can set, for example, 8 ports running 10 gig, 4 ports running at 1 gig, and the rest of the port running at 10 gig per second, as long as you don't exceed the line card throughput capacity. So one very important thing to check right here is check the condition of the line card when you receive them. Make sure that the ports are, the SSP port are in good condition, right? So I have already hooked this right here to test this unit. Check the handles, if they are not damaged. And one very important component, the critical component to check the backplane, because if the backplane is damaged, you can damage the chassis. And let me show you, the backplane on this particular line card. Look at that. So this is the backplane, and I recommend check every single of these connectors. Put attention, to every single pin right here, because it's sometimes this slot right here, this backplane connector, they are damaged. If this is damaged, you can damage the chassis, or if the chassis is damaged, you can damage the module. So it's very important to check, every single connector on the backplane. It's very important to check the backplane line card or the backplane chassis, just to make sure that you are not going to insert this line card in any bad slot. So very important. So I need to connect this, into my chassis, make sure that the operating system recognize this. And the other important thing is check, the port group configuration or the port mode. This is a different rules to apply when you set the port speed configuration. And I have a document in which, the document explains, what is the combination port speed that you can set in this particular line card. So we're going to connect the chassis, power up, make sure that the RSP recognize all the modules, and after that we're going to test the ports. So let's do that, guys. So guys, I already insert the ASR 9K modules on the chassis, and let's check the status. Show short version brief to check the operating system. Does the operating system show platform? So the 3 modules are up and working. Show the app, just to make sure that they are running the same operating system. and apparently everything is working fine. So now let's basically let's check this particular line cards come with one network processor unit, only one for the 24 ports. In some cases, for example, the 48 ports come with two network processors. I had experience, with different other line cards, for example, 100 gig 8 port. So that one comes with 4 different network processors. And when you're testing those interfaces, once in a while happen that one of the interface doesn't work, meaning that probably the network processor is not working. So that is very important to execute this command. Show controllers MP network processor summary all. I give you the information of the network processor. So I have 3 different line cards, one network processor for the 24 ports. Right there. The slot number 3, the slot number 5, and the slot number 0, and the state is up. Look at that. Now let's check the fabric controllers. Show controller fabric link, no, FIA link, status, summary, new status location, or location 0.0.CPU 0 for the slot 0 for the slot 3, and then for the slot 5. So this is a very important diagnostic command. So now let's check the port mode configuration on this particular line cards. On this particular line card, you can group a specific number of interface that will basically number of consecutive interface working at the same speed. For example, in this particular line card, you can set a group of 8 ports, 4 ports, 12, 16, 20, and 24 working at different speed as long as you don't exceed the 200 gigabyte line rate throughput capacity. So for example, this location 0.0.CPU 0, right? So now let's set the same speed for consecutive ports, and the consecutive port can be a combination of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. So I can set, for example, this configuration 8 by 10, 4 by 4 dash mode. Right there. This is the command. Sorry, I forgot about the port mode command. Right there. Commit. So let's try another combination of ports. For example, on the slot 3, let's try this. 12 by 24, 12 by 10, I'm sorry, 8 by 10, and 4 by 10. Let's see what happens. Commit the changes, and look at that. So immediately, the chassis react the command because I already exceed the total throughput capacity. Look at that, more oversubscription, more than 20 ports at 10 gigabit per second on network processor 0. So it's not possible. So you can set, for example, 12 port working at 10 gigabit per second. Now let's say 8 to 1 and 4 by 10, and enter. Let's commit the changes and see what happens. It's also not possible to execute that. So let's try the following. Do you see the message right here? When you receive this message, because the port configuration is not accepted or it's not valid. So we can do, for example, 20 by 10, 4 by 1. Enter, commit, and that one also works. So let's another combination for the slot number 5. Slot number 5, and the port mode will be, for example, you can set 16 by 10, and the other 8 ports you can set to 1 gig, for example. 8 by 1, commit, and now let's check show interface brief to see the different group of ports that we just create. That's it. Show interface brief. So let's double check this. So the first group of ports on the slot 0 was 4 working at 1 gigabit per second, and then we have 8 working at 10 gigabit per second. That is on the other group. This is the group number 1. This is the other group number 2, and the other group 12 to 20, 23. That's for the slot 0. Let's check the slot number 3. The first group we set 20 ports. That's 20 ports working at 10 gigabit per second, right there, 0 to 19. This is the first group, and the other group of 4 is 16 to 23 working at 1 gigabit per second. Look at that, gigabit, 10 gigabit. And the slot number 5, 8 working at 1 gig, and the rest of the 4 working at 10 gigabit per second. So that's the combination of port that you can do on this particular ASR 9K-24 ports. So you can group these. I only recommend this type of transceiver for testing purposes. I mean, if you are in the production environment, I recommend use the original Cisco transceivers. So let me show you how to be able, only to test the interface with a third-party optics. So basically, when you insert the optics, immediately, there is a message on error that the transceivers is not valid or is not recognized. Look at that. So let's execute the following command. Configure terminal, service, service and support transceivers. Let me check if if it's correctly. This is the correct command. I have a documentation right here. This is you. And this is a hidden command. Okay, so this command basically enable that you can use third-party transceivers on the Cisco devices. And now you can go into the on the interface and execute node shutdown to bring the interface up. So we have the interface 8 to 11. The interface gigabit 0.0.8. 0.0.0.8, Notre Dame. The number 9, Notre Dame. Number 10, Notre Dame. The 11, Notre Dame. So let me connect, a fiber cable on this interface and see if the interface comes up. Let me do that. So I made the configuration, but I forgot to commit the changes. Commit. Just double check. See, the interfaces are coming up. So check it from here. That's it. Show interface div. There we go. So this interface that we insert a third-party transceiver, nav up and working. So basically, guys, this is how you execute the port mode configuration on the ASR 9K-24 port line card. So that will be everything for today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thanks.